What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1.
And we're back at it to answer your questions in another episode of For the Greater
WAAAGH!
Christmas edition. Merry Christmas to you guys. We don't have the hats to wear, but we have lights in the background, lighting the way to the Emperor's heart. That is our Astronomicon to you guys.
That's right.
And if you don't celebrate Christmas, good luck in hell. I'm just kidding. So this is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, simply comment down below. Put question in front of your question, because we get to those questions first. And that is what Bruva Michael did. How is it possible that assassins of the Inquisition are able to kill Space Marines? Because they sneaky as hell.
Yeah, so assassins are just that. They're assassins. They're sneaky, they're stealthy, they've got special weapons and abilities to get them to kill. Now, they're not going to be as, hulking, as bulky, as ready for war as a Astartes would be, but they're more of the behind-the-scenes kind of thing.
Yeah, and the benefit of coming from the Inquisition is that you're going to have the assassin is going to have the resources to infiltrate a fortress monastery as a serf. They're going to be able to know the weaknesses to the armor of a Space Marine or a specific Space Marine captain or what have you. They're going to be able to gain or gather that information from the Inquisition, who gets that from the Ecclesiarchy, who has taken that from some type of administratum. Because you got to remember that even though the Space Marines are kind of their own thing, they still report to, is it the Adeptus Mechanicus or the Magobiologists?
The ones that, they basically have to report about, like, gene seeds stuff,
So, at the same time, they have to report to the Forge Worlds of Mars, even for their spaceships and all that kind of stuff. So, the Inquisition is going to know the weaknesses to a Space Marine chapter and can be utilized in that manner. Now, that doesn't mean that the Inquisition is as strong as a Space Marine chapter. So if an Inquisitor wanted to battle an entire chapter, that's tough. Unless you have your own chapter to battle, which there are a lot of chapters that are specifically for the Inquisition.
The Minotaurs.
The Minotaurs, yeah. But ultimately, they're both very good opponents. They just have different ways of fighting.
Right.
And that's how they would be killed. Next question.
This one is by Master Spookums. Is Mork and Gork older than the Chaos Gods? The orcs were made in the age during the Battle of Heaven, and so shouldn't they be older than humans? Can you guys do a video on the birth of Mork and Gork and their realm in the war?
It's not 100% sure when when Gork and Mork were created. It could have been after the War in Heaven, to be honest with you. Because during the War in Heaven, the orcs were the Krorks, and they were guided by the Old Ones. And the Old Ones they were kind of probably like the Emperor, where they wanted to be more about truth and just science rather than like the mythology of there being gods. So they probably wouldn't allow the Krork to
make their own gods, Gork and Mork.
Yeah, and that could have happened later on, and who knows when. Next question comes from Yojon. Gersh, what would be your title in 40k? Sound Alchemist, what would be your name in 40k? So what would be your name?
Theodastus Bombastus.
I like that. That's really funny. My title would be Archmagos, like a Belisarius call. Either that or El Mas Chingon.
Yeah.
Next question.
Minnow. Is the Alpha Legion still helping the Cabal to defeat Chaos, or are they literally just fighting to change the future?
We don't know. Based on my hopes and dreams, is that they're fighting to get rid of Chaos.
Yeah, I really want that to be a thing, because if it turns out that, they are using Chaos to destroy Chaos, that'd be really badass. And if Omegon and Alfarius are still alive, that's two Primarchs to the side of the Imperium, which they needed.
An Alfarius model would be really badass in 40k. You have to remember, though, that he would look a lot like a regular, Space Marine.
Space Marine,
because He was the smallest of all the Primaris.
Mm-hmm.
Not the weakest, though. That's Lorgar. Next question comes from Ralph777. Are there still the Interex surviving civilization in the modern time of 40k? If you don't know who the Interex are, they're basically a civilization that was highly advanced and was encountered by the Great Crusade, and through some manipulation by, what's Lorgar's father's name?
Corferon?
Corferon? I don't know, maybe. Yeah, but through manipulation of that guy, he actually had the Imperium attack the Interex. The Interex, they were really like technologically advanced, and they could have benefited the Imperium a lot. It could have been a good alliance, or even like somehow they could have folded each other into just the Imperium of man. But unfortunately, through the manipulation of Lorgar's father, the Imperium and that civilization attacked each other, and they're gone. They were destroyed. They were conquered, I guess. So if there is still remnants of them, if you want to put that into your lore, they would be like rebels. They would be like, you know, Star Wars,
like Rogue One, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Member berries. If the Big E went to university or college, what would he study? Philosophy, probably the sciences, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Culinary.
Culinary art, yeah. Next question comes from Bruce Ashby. What about female Space Marines? Is a story foul once changed? Is a story foul once changed? I don't know what that means.
I think he's saying, like, if they change the lore to include female, would it, like, foul, or would it, like, degrade the lore?
I don't think so, because you always have that lost Primarch that you can pull out and say, well, this was a female Primarch, and the reason she was destroyed is because of some mutation or something or another. Yeah. The possibilities are there, but I guarantee you can go to the comment section, and it's just gonna be chock full of a very small minority of the Warhammer 40k community that is so angry towards women that they just want to like keep them out and say garbageness.
Well, yeah, but I mean, lore-wise, I think they did say that the gene seed does not work with female anatomy, biology, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So there is information to back that up. But I mean...
But again, that's the lost Primarch gene seed would be different than what's already there.
But isn't the genetics for a Primarch, isn't that still made to fit the male biology?
That I don't think so. But,
so it's just the gene seed.
I believe so.
Right.
But again, like that could just completely change.
Right, like how Sanguinius was dead, now he's in stasis.
Yeah. So. And like it's gonna hurt people who are like really invested into it. But like,
I mean, if it hurts you to that point, just don't. I really don't like using Kroot. I don't like using Fire Warriors. These guys hound me about it all the time, saying, you need troops. You got like, you know, a bunch of 12 shots coming from a unit, and it's going to do way better than crisis suits would.
Yeah.
And while I see your points, I don't like them. I'm not going to use them. I'm going to stick to my Farsight lists.
Yeah.
So I kind of think of it that way, where if you don't like it, just don't use it. But, I mean, if GW does make that canon or whatever, then I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Next question comes from George Pantoja. Gersh, would you ever shave your head? If not, what would it make you do? Or what would make you do it? How many likes does a video need to get before you pluck that ponytail? I wouldn't cut my hair for views. That's what clickbait's for. I really wouldn't want to cut my hair. Nothing would drive me to cut my hair unless I got lice or something crazy like that.
Now, cancer could kind of make you do that.
Yeah, if I got cancer. Well,
chemotherapy.
Well, now they've actually like designed some special thing where you can keep your hair even while going through chemo. It's like experimental right now, but it is a thing now.
There's always wigs.
That's true. This is a wig.
Yeah, that is a wig.
Next question.
1975 Steelers fan. Were there any Primaris Marines taken from the Traitor Legions before or after the Horus Heresy? If so, were they allowed to establish new chapters, or were they just left in stasis for another purpose? Yeah, I think you're getting Primaris Marines confused. Lore-wise, they're kind of a new thing, even though they have been, I guess, ready for like 10,000 years.
Yeah, I think what he's saying is like, did anybody infiltrate the vaults of what's his face and steal some Primaris gene seed? I don't think so. I think what's going to end up happening is that what's his name? The
Fabius Bile.
He's going to create Primaris Marines off of the dead that have fallen during the Indominus Crusade, or the Plague Wars. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, so that's going to give Chaos a huge boost. Just like you already got these super Space Marines, and now they're like super Space Marines because they got Chaos powers.
Yes. Next question. I have one from Gab Yariv. If Chaos can corrupt AI, aka the Men of Iron, can Chaos corrupt Tau battlesuits and drones? Does it have any precedence in the lore? So let's answer that first.
I've never heard it happen in the lore, but I feel like it is a possibility.
Yeah.
Tau themselves, like the biology of Tau, don't really register in the warp. They do, but it's so faint. Usually demons don't really try to,
It's like a salad next to like a steak.
Right, you want to go to the steak.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that kind of thought. But with the AI, again, I've never heard anything happening like that.
But it could be in the future.
Yep.
I don't know what benefit that would do. But yeah, and then he has a second question. Do servitors get corrupted by Chaos? And why aren't Chaos corrupted cyber mastiffs a thing in 40k? Because, so yes they can, and because when a cyber mastiff gets corrupted by Chaos, he morphs into something else. We've talked about this before, but there is a, what is he called? What's his name? There's a Khorne Space Marine, Chaos Space Marine, who has a pet, a familiar, which is a servitor, or a servitor-like creature that's actually a dinosaur.
Oh, you're talking about Huron Blackheart.
There you go. Yeah. So, yeah, if you have a cyber mastiff, and if you don't know what a cyber mastiff is, it's just basically a robot dog. So if you have a robot dog and he gets corrupted by Chaos, he's gonna sprout like spikes and stuff, and he's not gonna be a dog anymore, or not resemble a dog anymore.
He'll probably become like a bloodhound or something.
Yeah. Even though bloodhounds, I think they'll have no, they don't have any machine.
No, they don't. Yeah.
It's all Chaos.
So it'd be something else.
Yeah. Last question.
I had one, and I lost it.
I have one. That's not a good one. I have one from Jacob Lipinski. If a 40k movie was to be made, what kind of film would you want it to be, and what kind you think the studio would end up making? I've thought about this a lot, especially now that I saw Star Wars, and I saw, what's that other movie? The
Warcraft?
No, Rune. No,
Rune?
Runescape? No.
RuneScape? Was it World of Warcraft?
No, that's not the one. It's the one with the dude from The Notebook.
Oh, you're talking about Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. After watching the Blade Runner movie, I've realized that like what I would want is like something like the Blade Runner, where it's like very dark, very like thought-provoking story, and I wouldn't want an epic just yet, like, because everybody says like, oh, they need to do the Horus Heresy. But I think if you jump into the Horus Heresy, it's way too much for like a no, like somebody who doesn't know about 40k to just like boom get introduced to like Primarchs and Space Marines and Imperial Guard and the Emperor and Chaos and Eldar and the Cabal and all that kind of stuff. So it's too much for that. But you ease them into the world of 40k, and the best way to do that would be to like talk about a rogue trader. So it would be a rogue trader that kind of resembles a lot the Blade Runner guy, whoever that guy was from Blade Runner.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But
yeah, I agree. You can't just push them in, because I feel it'll end up kind of being like a Justice League. You want to follow the kind of Marvel concept where you introduce one character, have his movie, introduce another one, and once we've built this world, then you can talk about the Horus Heresy, all the Primarchs fighting together, all that kind of thing.
And another thing too, I don't think if we do get a Warhammer 40k movie, it's never going to be, if you want it to be big, it's never going to be like what I think a true fan wants it to be, like grim dark. You can't really have grim dark because currently that movie would be competing against the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and if you see any Marvel movie, it's super friendly, like super kid friendly, jokes all the time, fart jokes. A fart joke in the 40k world would not fit.
No, it's like the studio who's making this movie isn't gonna pour all this money into special effects, clothing, go to different, like you want to, ice world, you got to film in Alaska, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
When it's not gonna appeal to a greater audience. And therefore, it's not going to bring in the money that the studio wants.
Yeah, the closest movie I've ever seen that did well, that I think would do good for 40k, is Rogue One. I think Rogue One was the right type of dark. It had some humor, and it really illustrated a grander world. And I think it would be really nice if they did something like that in Rogue One. But I don't even think they could do something like the newer, like the main numbered Star Wars. Just because it just wouldn't fit. It's too much to compete.
Right.
Yeah. Those were the questions for today.
Let us know what other questions you have for us down in the comments below. Make sure to put question before your question because we get to those first.
Yes. And Merry Christmas to you guys.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys got what you wanted. All thanks to Santa. And we'll see you tomorrow. This has been the Sound Alchemist.
Gershwan.
And we're out of here.